I'm Ramone Kingsley. I'm the founder of Kingsley 1945. I started the brand, I would say it's probably been about 12 years now. And so I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I started this brand this was like a childhood dream since I was very young, and really came from my parents, especially my dad with a military background. I was just always fascinated with like all of these World War II sort of guns and bullets and grenades and even just vintage items, the quality that they were made and the nostalgic feel to them. I've always had that all the way through since I became a professional, working as a designer, managing, designs for luxury companies, accessories, and things like that. And 12 years ago, I really started to get into, traveling to Switzerland and a lot of the travels that I did into manufacturing and metals. And one day I said, I've got to find a way to find two things that I really love, which was watches, and the other one was all of this sort of cool World War II stuff and integrate them together. And as I was learning about the watch industry, I started experimenting with crazy things like taking World War II jackets, cutting them up, and turning those things into straps, taking like the bullet boxes or grenade or these metal items from World War II and finding ways to grind these materials up and sort of melt them or turn them into like cases. So that's kind of where I started to get a lot of attention from the outside world and just in general, people very interested in the uniqueness of that approach. And behind the scenes, it probably took me a good 5 to 8 years from engineering and figuring ways how to do that. But the initial pieces, very cool. They were literally some of the straps were cut out of real bomber material, and till this day the aesthetic of the every watch, it has that same authentic sort of feel and even look. So fast forward to the last maybe 5 to 7 years, I met this gentleman, Amit Dev Handa, and he is, if you guys don't already know about Amit Dev Handa, he's very well renowned for his knowledge in the watch business, and also just has been in the industry his entire life. So he's one of the very few people that I've met that has that unique ability to understand sort of watches to the level that he does, but also understand the consumer and the way consumers react and how they engage with pieces. So, but when I first met him, we had lunch with a mutual friend that introduced me to him. And over lunch, obviously we both have similar passions for arts and watches and all these things. And one day, at that point in time, I was still sort of in engineering phase and trying to work out the brand. I said, one day we'll work together. I just had a good vibe about that. And sure enough, like 3 4 years later, I had sent them this beautiful cigar box with it was like a handmade cigar box. And the watch was inside of it. And I had this really beautiful, it was like my Type 1 case. It was made out of like a grenade material, with this sort of bronze look to it. And I just sent them a note. I said, J Fly, which is what I call him, uh, tell me what do you think? And sure enough, I got an immediate reply shortly after he had received the package, and I think he was in Vegas at the time, and he absolutely loved it. Everything about the brand, the details, just it was an amazing sort of thing because we hadn't interacted since, and then it just very quickly it was interacting every day, and he is such a special person in terms of not just understanding consumers and watches, but he really understood my brand and all of the things that went into it, that I put into it, that um, he is one of the very few, if not the only distributor that I have that has the ability that I allow to do these custom made timepieces outside of my own watch operations due to the complexity and You really have to know what you're doing to do that. And we've had such wonderful experiences with a lot of his clients, uh, looking for custom made pieces and doing all sorts of things. We've even developed certain styles that I have that are popular that were just kind of experimental things that were basically the result of him sort of customizing things for some of his high-end clients and collectors and enthusiasts. So I just wanted to put it out there that if you're ever looking for a custom-made, Kingsley watch, I can't think of anyone better to discuss this kind of stuff than Amit Dev Handa. And his website is amitdevhanda.com. My website's kingsley1945.com. And definitely check it out.